just right around now. And my birthday had come up then, and I did have a headache. And I didn't want to talk to anybody till they said, you know, just get up, because tomorrow, you know, next year you'll be older and you'll be really pissed. I know, right. How wise of you. How old are you? All right. I thought you were going to be a 30-year-old upstart, you know. Anyway, around this time, I was in the studio and we were doing, I'm telling you all this stuff because this is part of the album experience. Okay. You know, if I got it wrong, that's okay. You can tell me, you know, I could take a hit. Anyway, so I was in the studio and we recorded this song and then we went out to dinner, which happened to be at Kodama, this restaurant, you know, which was right around the corner. The odd thing is that Kinky Boots is on 45th Street. And it's still there, no. And the old record plant was on 44th, off of 8th, so it was right around the corner. And we would walk to this restaurant, which is now right across the street from Hartfield, so it was kind of odd, a little deja vu for me. And I thought, you know, at that time, the record plant was a place, you know, now it was in the days when people actually went to a studio to record instead of your garage or your home. I mean, we were still doing it in bedrooms and things, you know, because that's where you had the most room to set up a microphone and you could use the bedspread as a, you know, sound buffer. Anyway, never mind, you don't want to hear that, but that's just the technical things, kiddies. Anyway, so in this studio, and while we were writing that last song, you know, even time after time, Rob and I were in a studio that wasn't being used, and who walks in but Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons, right? So I'm thinking, you know, because, you know, who the hell was I? So anyway, so they walk in and Paul was showing, you know, someone around the studio, and then I realized that actually Paul was the sensitive guy. You know, because I met him later on one of them idol show things that we did together, and there he was with the metal and the spikes, you know, with the paint and everything and the platforms, and he was telling me about his paintings. And I was thinking, you know, he's the sensitive guy. You know, so later on I got to see him in a whole different light, but then we were trying to write and they were walking in, I'm thinking, oh man. But they had a rehearsal space in the back, right? This big rehearsal space. And also, there were pictures of John Lennon everywhere. Right? Yeah, I know, I'm a huge Beatle fan. You know, my sister was Paul, but I had to be John because she was Paul. And then I got into that whole head, of course. You know, they did the whole they did the whole microbiotic diet thing, and I was living with some guy at that point. Read my book, no. Kidding. Now I actually have a book, so it's not that funny, but, you know, I used to, you know, make him rice and a dookie beans. And really, he was just a meat and potatoes kind of guy. You know, so that didn't work out for me. So maybe I should have been Paul, I don't know. But now he's a vegetarian, and I think you have to be a scientist to get it right. But anyway, that's food. That has nothing to do with the studio, you know. And so I would run up and down the hallway, and there was this giant picture with a guitar, and there was John Lennon's face, you know, the big face he had, like from Imagine, right there. And I'd run into that. And I'd be like, okay, and you know when pictures are hanging for a long time, I don't know about you, but don't you start to feel like Lou Costello in the Abbott Costello movie, where your eyes move? So I found myself talking to the picture, and I thought, oh, this is good. But, you know, then I felt like, you know, we have guardians, these other rockers that worked here. because it's true. People need part of their energy. So that's what we were working with. And I go to sing this one song that seemed very Beatle-y to me. It was written by a really great writer, Jules Scher. Right? Awesome. So we go, you okay? You need to get some coffee? No, I'm just kidding. So we go to do this song, we laid down the track, then we went to eat, and then we came back and I was going to sing. So I sang the song, I sang the song, and then we went to eat, and then we came back, and then Dave Wolf thought about it. He was my manager and the executive producer, so he said, I don't think that's the line to an opening of a song. That's not really that good. I think you did it better one before. And in those days, we had 2-inch tape, like this machine that had tapes. A lot of kids will tell you that the digital sound is the same. Don't fucking believe me. Because it ain't even close, baby. And unless you was there, how would you know? So we're in there. The only drag about it was that they were, and Bill was doing it, right? You were there. Bill was the engineer, and actually William. His name is William Whitman. I keep calling him Bill, I'm sorry. But he was the engineer, She's So Unusual, and mixed that album. And, right? Awesome ear. And anyway, so they go and they cut the tape because they would have to cut the tape, not like a computer, where you cut and paste, and it's the computer. But this was, you cut the tape. And unfortunately, they used a razor that was like magnetized. That means it kind of sounded like this. All through the night. That's what it was. All through the night. So we had to fix it. So they put a new piece of tape on with, cutting it together with a razor that wasn't magnetized. And so all night I'm singing the first line over and over, and they're like, no, that's not good enough. I'm like, really? It doesn't have the magic. Really? Okay, one more time. Oh, and I just kept doing it all night. And then finally I got Lenny Pizzi, who was also one of the producers. Everybody was a producer.